lots of UFO news to talk about today, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I'll talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please like and subscribe and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And yeah, by the way, I hope you had a great, happy Halloween. Boo. That sounded ghosty, right? Okay, here we go. From NBC News, there were attempts to stop first-hand UAP witnesses from testifying at the congressional hearing. And of course, we've heard about this before from Tim Burchett and others at the last hearing, that even NASA was intimidating witnesses into not testifying, and that's why they are keeping the identities of the current witnesses under wraps. Well, let's listen to what Jeremy Corbell has to say about that.
This hearing, what kind of testimony could we see there?
Right. So we are in a crisis right now of journalism in America. And there are a lot of attempts right now to stop witnesses, firsthand whistleblowers to UAP, from testifying. Now, we also have people fighting to allow for that. So the world, one way or the highway, is going to catch up really soon about UAP. George Knapp, my mentor in journalism, and I have been giving briefings on the Hill as recently as today, watching this unfold, just like everybody else at home. I will tell you this. This is the message, and it's already been said by Representative Nancy Mace. Come hell or high water, the hearing is on.
Okay, yeah, hell or high water, the hearing is on. That's what Nancy Mace had to say. I sure hope that's true, and I sure hope we get some gangbusters witnesses that are actually participants of some of these crash retrieval or reverse engineering or detection programs. I don't know if Tim Gallaudet is an actual participant or witness to any of this. Apparently, he's going to be testifying. I mean, I love Tim Gallaudet, and I'm sure that he'll be shedding some light on the mystery of USOs. Obviously, there's so much to that. I covered just the other day about underwater UFO bases. Clearly that's a big thing. That's an important part of the UFO phenomenon. But I do hope he has firsthand knowledge of it, and he's not just repeating, things that he's been told. We need the firsthand witnesses now. We've had the David Grush testimony. Now we need firsthand witnesses and participants. At least that's my take. But hey, anything that keeps the conversation going forward is great, and I love that NBC is covering this in a thoughtful and respectful manner. But what about witnesses being intimidated, and how deep does that go? Well, here's what Lou Elizondo had to say about that.
The government is in possession of material, exotic material, that doesn't look like it's made by us.
Has there ever been anyone sent to jail because they've spoken about this subject matter?
Worse. And that story has yet to be told. Yes, there are people who have faced extreme disciplinary actions and potentially worse.
Potentially worse. And he's not going to go as far as to say assassinations or anything like that, but David Grush has. David Grush has gone that far. David Grush, in many ways, does go further than Lou Elizondo does. But David is standing on the back of a giant, on the shoulders of a giant. Yes, that's right. There has been a lot of controversy about Lou because of a bogus UFO photo that he showed as part of a presentation. But he has apologized for that and thanked people for pointing that out. And here he is again saying thank you to this Twitter, this Twitterer, Xer. Are we Xers now? Whatever. Thank you, Salt, and great questions. No, I will not trust that source again, the one that provided that bogus photo. Any future information provided to me by someone in the government will have just as much scrutiny as everything else. Yeah, well, don't trust people from the government. I know Lou's from the government, but a lot of people don't trust him because he is from the government. Don't trust the government. 3, you're absolutely correct in asking how can you trust information when some of the information is either inaccurate or corrupt. This is precisely why I am answering your questions publicly. We must all hold ourselves accountable as I am doing right now. A little humble pie never hurt anyone. And as Joe Murgia says, despite Lou's issues, that if you can't see the good he's done since 2017, you are in denial and not someone to be taken seriously. Well, indeed. Like I say, we wouldn't have David Grush without Lou Elizondo. We wouldn't have this current era of UFO disclosure without Lou the Man Elizondo. Whoever or whatever he ultimately turns out to be. It seems like Jay Stratton seems to have some strong feelings about that, unfortunately. But, you know, at least we may get closer to the truth when his book comes out. That will be very interesting to see how his account lines up with Lou's account and where exactly he thinks Lou is getting things wrong. But whatever, again, whatever Lou's you know, a real agenda is, or what his ultimate purpose is, we wouldn't have this era of UFO disclosure without him. Without him getting those 3 videos out in 2017 and going public with this information and partnering with Chris Mellon and TTSA and all of that, we wouldn't be where we are today for David Grush with a UAP amendment that has been signed into law, a UFO disclosure amendment that mentions non-human intelligence multiple times, actually signed into law. However neutered it is, it has been signed into law by the President of the United States. That is huge, guys. That is huge. We have a growing number of Congress people talking openly and respectfully about the UFO issue. None of that would have happened without Lou Elizondo. Now, is he part of some sort of planned disclosure initiative? Is that possible? Absolutely, that's possible. Maybe we'll learn more with Jay Stratton's book. But again, planned disclosure or no, at least it's disclosure. Now, what gives me some alarm is the continuing threat narrative and, putting that in people's minds. I think that so much of this stuff is consciousness related, and we are co-creating not all of them, not all of these experiences, but many of these experiences are, dependent on our own consciousness. Putting the idea that this could be a threat in people's minds is going to have negative consequences for a lot of people. They are going to have negative experiences because that is in their minds. So it's, far better, in my view, to dial that back, however legitimate some of those threats may be. Work on that in the background quietly, but talk about, more peaceful, positive stuff openly, because, again, we want people to have a positive relationship with the phenomenon. It looks like things are building steam. A lot of people think we're going to have open contact in 2026 or 27, and when that happens, we want that to be a positive contact. So a positive worldwide contact, right? So we need to co-create positive, loving experiences, not fear-based experiences. So I hope Lou and others dial down the threat-based rhetoric. Again, I see that there are negative elements of the phenomenon that may need to be addressed, but quietly behind the scenes so that we can have a much more positive engagement with the overall phenomenon. At least that's my take, guys. Let me know what yours is in the comments below. Now, back to the Nazca mummies. As Gonzalo Chavez says, Montserrat was discovered pregnant with bio-integrated implants, which allowed skin to grow naturally around them, a process only possible if she was alive, with her body actively developing skin around the implant. That's right, guys. These beings were living beings. We don't know what those implants were for. We know there may have been energy given off by them and may still be giving off energy. That's just incredible, guys. I can't wait to learn more about these implants. The metallurgy is interesting and to some extent important, but I want to know what they were for. Because not only because it's super fascinating, but also because, as I've reported on multiple times, the Nazca mummies seem to have some connection with the abducting alien or non-human race or races. And the implants are one of those signatures that seem to point to that connection. So, if we can find out what the Nazca mummies were using their implants for, it might give us a heads up on what experiencers, what their implants are for as well. Meanwhile, we've got a potential new whistleblower, as Merrick von Rennenkamp from The Hill is reporting. Last month, Kirk McGonnell, a recently retired 37-year-old veteran professional staff member on the House and Senate Intelligence Committees, confirmed publicly that whistleblowers provided first-hand testimony to Congress alleging the existence of ultra-secret programs that retrieve and seek to reverse engineer advanced craft of unknown or non-human origin. He doesn't say anything else about McGonnell in this article, but I wonder if McGonnell is one of these important whistleblowers. Is this the gentleman that was reporting on, Constellation, on Immaculate Constellation? Or is that somebody else? Is this somebody new? Is this somebody that was a participant of Immaculate Constellation? Or if Immaculate Constellation was a parent program for other programs, was he a participant of one of these other programs? I can't wait to find out. Is he going to be one of these witnesses at the new hearing? I hope he is. This sounds like he's got some awesome information to share. On the other hand, they have been trying to keep the identities of those whistleblowers, or those witnesses, rather, at the hearing, secret. So I wonder, since this name is public now, if he's going to be one of them or not. But either way, sounds like he's got some awesome information. I can't wait to find out more about it. Yeah, so let's see, what else do we've got today? We've got, people are talking about, this came up again. So let's go through why this is important. Now, Jon Stewart reported on a firefight between Lockheed Martin and JSOC, where Lockheed Martin won the battle over a downed UFO that turned out to be a Lockheed Martin vehicle. That's right, there was an actual firefight with 2 fatalities on the JSOC side against or for this ARV, this alien reproduction vehicle, whatever you want to call it, one of our UFOs, one of the human-made UFOs. And so let's listen to this interesting exchange right here.
Does the DOE currently work with JSOC in order to handle security measures?
We work with all of the security entities around the federal government. We're part of an overall all-of-government effort on both cyber as well as national security.
Do you guys work with JSOC? Yes or no?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yes, the Department of Energy works with JSOC. So did the Department of Energy, who many people, including Jacques Vallée, think is a key component of the UFO control group, although he doesn't call it that, could the Department of Energy have sent those JSOC soldiers to retrieve that craft, ultimately engaging with Lockheed Martin? Are they behind that? How important are they to the UFO control group? What relationship do they have to Immaculate Constellation, if that is a parent organization for the UFO control group? Probably one of multiple, parent organizations. Probably a lot of redundancy, I would imagine. So if you got rid of one, you can get rid of them all. But if the Department of Energy is integral, or even at the top of the UFO control group, what relationship does it have to Immaculate Constellation? I'd be really interested to know. And also, why could they not win a firefight with Lockheed Martin? Really interesting that Lockheed Martin may have better stuff than the UFO control group, at least in this particular case. And is that why the issue of eminent domain is so important? Because the UFO control group wants what Lockheed Martin and other private contractors have. And there is some internal tension within the UFO control group, because I say the UFO control group in that context, but I mean the government side of it. Is there a tension between the government and the private sides of the UFO control group? It seems to me like there is, and that may be why the eminent domain issue is so important, and why there's a battle over that. We're not necessarily seeing a battle of pro-disclosure versus anti-disclosure. We're seeing a battle within the UFO control group itself and the congresspeople allied with those groups. Maybe, potentially. Let me know what you think. Either way, super fascinating. And by the way, Jon Stewart's information was backed up in part by friend of the channel, Nico, who had received very similar information. Meanwhile, let's check out a really cool UFO video from Peter Maxwell Slattery. I just love Peter. Peter's good people. Now, let's talk about somebody that really has a close connection to the phenomenon. And, you know, he goes out there at Jaya Sanctuary or Jaya Sanctuary and has these CE5 events where he gets, you know, these amazing contacts with these beautiful UFOs. And Peter himself has such amazing contact. If you haven't seen the interview I did with Peter on the channel, check that out. A cool guy, a lovely guy, and amazing experiences with the phenomenon, including ones like this. And he has direct communications with the beings. He's had, I think, over 40 remote viewers remote view his contacts, which is incredible, including one Merkaba vessel that seems to have been coming from another dimension, according to the remote viewers that remote viewing this thing. Just amazing stuff. Yeah, if you haven't checked out Peter's channel, check him out. He goes into some deep stuff, not just showing UFO videos, but talking about other dimensions and spirituality and the metaphysics behind UFOs. And it's just fantastic stuff. I think we need to, you know, think about the UFO phenomenon in those terms more than the threat narrative. I think we're going to get a lot further and have a much better interaction with the phenomenon when we get there. Meanwhile, last but not least, a skier avoids an avalanche by paragliding over it. What? This is some James Bond level stuff, guys. This is amazing. Oh my God, this is insane. Love it. Well, I love that they paraglided over it. It could have gone the other way. But these guys are pros. Check this out, guys. All right, let me know what you think about this awesome paragliding James Bond Daredevil and everything else covered today in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure appreciate it. Smash the like button and the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, links below. Love to see you guys there. If you want to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store below. See the link. Or you can become a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really, really appreciate your support. Thank you. Meanwhile, there's plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.